I'm starting off the notes today just with an extra wee example, as we call it, on cast diagrams, really, just from previous questions we've had. So you might find this useful, just for reinforcement. If cos A equals 3/5 and tan B equals 12/5, where A and B are both reflex, find sine of A minus B. First of all, we need to draw those two angles on a cast diagram. Now we know they're reflex angles, but a reflex angle could go in possibly two places. It can go here, so that would be over 180 to 270, or it could go in this quadrant here between 270 and 360. They would both give reflex. But angle A, the cosine of the angle will be 3/5, a positive number, and cosine is positive in this quadrant, so the reflex angle will have to be in here. So A will be in here. For angle B, tan of B is 12/5, so it's a positive number as well, so the reflex angle has to give a positive tan value, so it has to be in this quadrant. So the angle B is here. Then we work out what the sides would be. So cos is the adjacent 3 over hypotenuse 5. By Pythagoras, the opposite will be 4. Angle B, tan is 12/5. Opposite is 12, adjacent will be 5. And by Pythagoras, the hypotenuse would be 13. So we know what cos A is. Sine A is going to equal the opposite, 4 over hypotenuse 5, and sine is negative in that quadrant. Tan will not need. I'll show you why in a second. The next one, we've got what tan B is. I want to know what sine B is. So sine B would be the opposite, 12 over hypotenuse 13, and again sine is negative in that quadrant. And finally, need to know what cos B is. It would be the adjacent 5 over hypotenuse 13, and cos is negative in that quadrant. So why did I want to work out those equations? Well, we're trying to work out the sine of A minus B, and the formula is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. So now we can simply replace, and we get minus 4/5 for A, cos B minus 5 over 13. Cos A is given in the question, 3/5, and sine B is minus 12 over 13. And if we work that out, we would get, I was going to simplify there, but probably best not, because we're going to subtract the fractions. So we end up with 20 over 65 plus 36 over 65. So that gives 56 over 65. So in today's lesson, we're going to focus on trig proofs. You've done it a little bit before, but now we've got all those new formulas in there. There's going to be a lot more options that we can take to simplify expressions and change expressions and manipulate them. I could do a million examples, so really all I can do is give you a bit of a flavour, but it's going to be experience from yourself, mostly on this here. It will make you better at it, building up some. I'll give you a few bits of structure to help you, but if you just ask me to do all the questions in the textbook, I don't know if that necessarily will help you. It's more you trying to build up the strategies yourself and try to navigate and learn how to work through these proofs. By all means, I'll help you. If you ask me, I will give you some solutions, but you could look at all the solutions and then the questions are nearly wasted. You sort of want to be able to work through yourself so you can learn for yourself the steps to take. So I'll stop going on and make a start. I'm going to try and prove that sine 2 theta divided by 1 plus cos 2 theta is equivalent to tan theta. Now you've got an option when you do proofs. You can either manipulate the left hand side and try to get it to look like the right hand side, or manipulate the right hand side and get it to look like the left hand side. I know which one I'm going to go for. Usually when you see the double angle formula, you can break that down. So I'd be trying to reduce this side. It's very hard to make something out of nothing. How do you change tan? Change the sine over cos, but there's not much more you can do. So we'll change the left. What is sine 2 theta? That is 2 sine theta cos theta from memory, or you'll have to derive that from the compound angle formula. And then what is cos 2 theta? Well, that is 2 cos squared theta minus 1. Again, I just know that. You'll have to memorize that or derive that from compound angle formula. It's cos squared minus sine squared is the first derivation, but you can change it to this here to avoid having two trig functions, cos and sine. And if I write it in that format, that's good because the denominator will simplify a bit more. The numerator stays as 2 sine theta cos theta, but the denominator is 2 cos squared theta. And you can see now we can simplify. The cos cancel, the 2 will cancel, and we're left with sine over cos. Try not to jump too far because they don't want, examiner doesn't want to just see the answer. They want to be sure that you know what you're doing and not just bluffing your way. So don't make a mess when you're cancelling everything out. Try and spell out exactly what it is you're doing. So there's the first one. Technique for that is to break down your double angle formula into simple sines and causes. Easier said than done. Okay, next one, EG2. We're going to prove that cosec of 2 theta plus the cot of 2 theta is equal to cot theta. Don't find reciprocal functions overly useful or easy to manipulate, so I'll change them into sines, causes and tans. So cosec 2 theta would be 1 over sine 2 theta. Cot 2 theta is 1 over tan 2 theta. However, if I think about it in the future, I've got a fraction here. This is going to be a fraction. I'm going to want to add them. So preferably, if this one's got sines, this one here, prefer to have it in sines and causes instead of tan. Tan's a little bit different to sine and cos. It's not the same amount of connections. So I'd prefer to write cot is cos over sine. If tan is sine over cos, cot is cos over sine. And also I've changed the left hand side because yes, they're reciprocal functions which I can change into sine and cos, but also because they're double angle formula which can then be reduced down. So the numerator now is 1 plus cos 2 theta over sine 2 theta. And I can reduce, as I said, those into, the denominator would be 2 sine theta cos theta. The numerator, like the last one, I would change that into 2 cos squared theta minus 1. The reason being that I want the minus 1, because it's going to cancel it with that plus 1, to give 2 cos squared theta over 2 sine theta cos theta. And then cancelling will be a cos and a 2, and you're left with cos theta over sine theta, and that is tan theta. Okay, this is the last question I'll do on proofs, slightly different because we've got a triple angle. Doesn't come up that often because the triple angle creates a lot of work. Maybe it makes the question quite large, but it has been seen before, so you do need to be able to know how to do it. We have to express sine 3 theta in terms of sine theta. That means the angle at the minute's 3 theta, we only want to have 1 theta, and we only want to have sines. So how do we do that? Well, we've got to split the 3 theta up, and we can split that up into 2 theta plus theta. This 2 theta is our A, and the 1 theta is our B, and that's the expansion of sine A plus B. And the expansion goes sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. And then we've got to break this up. What's sine 2 theta? Well, sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta. And we've also got to break up cos 2 theta. Now, cos 2 theta is cos squared minus sine squared. In the previous two examples, we changed that to be 2 cos squared minus 1. In this question, I don't want to have causes at all because I want to have my answer in terms of sine. So if I rearrange that, let me just put it out on the side because I've done it a couple of times now and not explained thoroughly enough. That's cos squared theta minus sine squared theta when you put theta and theta as your A and B in the compound angle formula. If we change the cos squared to 1 minus sine squared, we get 1 minus 2 sine squared. So 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. If we expand that out, we get 2 sine theta cos squared theta plus sine theta minus 2 sine cubed theta. We need to change that cos squared. So it would be 1 minus sine squared theta. And then if we simplify that, we end up with 2 sine theta plus sine theta. So 3 sine theta minus 2 sine cubed theta minus another 2 sine cubed theta is minus 4 sine cubed theta. Now part B is that's it, okay, so we've broken sine 3 theta into just sine thetas. Just a matter of going through the process again and again. Part B is to express cos 3 theta in terms of cos theta. It's the same approach. I'd encourage you to still the video and see if you can do it yourself. And once you're happy, you can scroll on and check my answer, and if it's wrong, you can listen to all of it. So cos 3 theta would be cos of 2 theta plus theta. So my A is 2 theta and my B is theta. I use the compound angle formula, which is cos A cos B minus sine A sine B. Cos 2 theta I want to break up. Remember the question, we want to have everything in terms of cos this time, so let's break it up in a way that suits us to do that. Cos 2 theta is 2 cos squared theta minus 1. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos, that's a mess, 2 sine theta cos theta, and then sine theta. If we simplify that, we get 2 cos cubed theta minus cos theta, and the last term would be sine squared theta cos theta. We've got a sine squared in there, which we want to get rid of. We want it in terms of cos, so we can change that to be 1 minus cos squared theta. If we simplify that, what do we have? What do we end up with? We've got 2 cos cubed theta, and if you expand out this one, you get a plus 2 cos cubed theta, so 4 cos cubed theta. Then you've got a minus cos theta and minus 2 cos theta, so that's minus 3 cos theta. And you can see they're quite similar, but sort of back to front expressions. Part C then is to work out tan 3 theta. It doesn't say express, it's well, it says hence find tan 3 theta. And because it's hence, it makes sense to use the previous parts. So by definition, tan theta is sine theta, in this case 3 theta, over cos 3 theta. Sine 3 theta is, get it on the screen, 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cubed theta. And cos 3 theta is 4 cos cubed theta minus 3 cos theta. Where would I go from there? Well, I can see that sine is a common factor and cos is a common factor. So I'm going to factorize out the sine and the cos on the numerator and denominator. So the numerator now is 3 minus 4 sine squared theta. And the denominator 4 cos squared theta minus 3. If that makes sense. So if I times this one by sine, I would get this, times this one by cos, you should get that. Okay, from here it's a bit tricky, and there's a few ways you can go about it. I'm going to show you one way. We're trying to get everything in terms of tan theta, so it makes sense to change that sine over cos to be a tan. And I've got a sine. How do I make sine into a tan? I have to divide it by cos squared. And that might work out well because I've got a cos squared here. If I divide it by cos squared, I'll get a 1. So it's going to be useful, but it's also going to cause some problems too, I'm sure. You would end up with 3. I'm dividing everything here by cos squared theta. Sine squared, yeah, I'll just spell it out first of all so you can see what's going on. Okay, so why did I do that? Well, I end up with, on the numerator, 1 over cos squared is the same as sec squared. And then that's sine squared over cos squared is tan squared. On the denominator, cos squared over cos squared is 1, so we end up with just 4. Minus 3 over cos squared again is 3 sec squared theta. Why is that useful? Well, if you go back, can you remember that sec squared is 1 plus tan squared? So by creating the sec squared, I know I can change the sec squared into tan squared because sec squared is 1 plus tan squared. No matter now of tidying that up, I've got tan theta times, on the numerator, we've got 3, and then we'd have 3 tan squared minus 4 tan squared, which is minus tan squared theta. And on the denominator, we'd have 4 take away 3, which is 1, and then minus 3 tan squared theta. And if we bring back in that tan theta that I brought out, it was in the wilderness, you can keep it out as a factor, or you can write it finally as 3 tan theta minus tan cubed theta over 1 minus 3 tan squared theta.